Welcome to another SSE show, folks. Thanks for being part of this. Over a year and a half, we've grown from 500 fans to over 740,000 in a year and a half. We thank y'all for watching. Today's guest, I think everybody knows this gentleman, Barry Switzer, folks, a former Dallas Cowboy, former Oklahoma Sooner head coach, one of only 2 coaches all time to win a national championship and a Super Bowl. Coach, thanks for being on the show.
And no one probably got a wine of his own.
Yes, and that's what we want to talk about.
Great, thank you. Great to be here, Chris. Remember the days in Dallas 20 years ago? Spent some time with you. You had more hair back then. And
I did.
Yeah, I know it. You really did. But it was fun. It was a good 4 years I spent there. We won a Super Bowl, won the division championship 3 years in a row, and lost a couple of good players like Novacek and Haley, and the arrow started pointing down, and everyone got a little older, and the cap kicked in and free agency, and we got some players siphoned off, and the arrow's been turned down for Dallas ever since. So everybody said, well, we need you back in Dallas, and I laughed, and I said, no, you need my players when they were in their prime. That's the difference.
It's always about talent, is it? And we'll talk Cowboys football, talk Sooners, but I want to talk about what you're doing now. You've got a lot going on. When most coaches retire, they retire. You are not retired. You're still active. Tell us, for the fans out there, what you're up to.
Hey, I got up at 4:30 yesterday morning, Chris. I had a meeting in Arkansas Oil and Gas Commission. I had to go to a hearing over there, so I flew over there and had a meeting and came back. And I did commercials today for another company all day. I have 50 LLCs. I had enough time to spend some time with my accountant today. And
50? 50?
I have 50 LLCs I've been involved in since. I didn't make any money. You understand? Stoops and these guys make $5 million, Saban $6 million. You know, I made $24,000 a year. We won undefeated 2 years in a row, won 2 national championships back to back. We were on probation, so I didn't get an extra month's salary because we couldn't go to bowl games. So I got $1,000 each year. You know, so I'm still upset about it. No, I'm happy for those guys. I'm glad to make that kind of money, and I really do. I wish the hell I'd coached in those days, but I didn't, and so I'm making up for it right now, trying to make things happen.
Yeah, talk about the wines you're doing. How did you get into that? Obviously, everybody knows Bootlegger Boys, so there's maybe a connection there. Why did you get into this?
My daddy did not sell wine, I promise you. He was too expensive. My daddy sold that rotten gut whiskey, early times, Sunnybrooks, Cascade, a bunch of half pints and pints. It was taxed in Louisiana, Mississippi, and that's why he went to prison. But this is Switzer Family Vineyards, and people think that while I'm doing a personality wine, people have a drink of it now. Oh, that is good, and they're not saying to just say that. It is good. It's Oakville, Napa Valley, right in the sweet spot. It is right next to Nickel and Nickel, Farniente, Opus, all the great wineries you know, and the labels you know, and I have acreage. I don't own the land. It's too damn expensive. I take a salary like Stoops to buy a couple acres, but I have a long-term contract, an OBV7 field out there, George Latour Field, and we grow Cabernet grapes, and we have a 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, and 12 is in the barrel, and we hope to have it out next spring.
That's fantastic. And how long have you been doing this, and how successful has it been so far?
Well, we've been doing about 4 or 5 years, and it does well. It's great to always be short in selling wine. We only do about 1,000 cases. I only sell in Arkansas, where I was born, and we're coached here in Oklahoma and Dallas, Texas, and but we could probably sell it other places, but we just, you know, we don't have enough. And if we do, the more we get, you can order it online. You go to Switzer Family Vineyards, right, Chena? You go to Switzer Family Vineyards and you can order it. And if your damn state has some laws that allow you to bring it in, that's great. You'll be able to bring it to your doorstep. But these states have crazy liquor laws, and you can't do it in Oklahoma. But anyway, that's enough about my wine. I like red wine. And when I was with Jerry at the Cowboys, the nights before the game, I used to order the wine. I take the wine list, and I said, Jerry, I know what you want. You want Kama Special Selection. So I always had that in front of him. So then I went up and down the list. I just started ordering, and I liked them all. So that's where I developed the taste.
That's awesome. Okay, and let's talk now also. We want to talk about everything on what you're doing now, and then we'll get some of these fans' questions here in a minute. Tell us about some of this other stuff like Coach's Cabana. Tell us what that is about and what you're doing there.
Okay, Coach's Cabana really started in 1978. Mike Henry, a friend of mine, came to me, who was in publishing, came and said, let's start a magazine. And Billy Sims had just won the Heisman in 1978. So in 79, we launched Sooners Illustrated. Then we did Huskers Illustrated, Longhorn Illustrated. We did Trojans Illustrated. He ended up doing about 13 magazines. It's back in an era when the NCAA didn't have the restrictions like they have today. We didn't have the technology as we have today in contacting athletes. So publication, print, and postage and all, it wasn't a problem back then. So we flooded these kids with all Sooners Illustrated. And I got kids all over the country sent them. So other programs wanted to start following us. Mike sold that magazine and went into Jumbotrons. He and Neil Pilson, who was president of 14 years of CBS Sports and for CBS Network. He was with CBS 25 years. Anyone who knows anything about sports and network television knows who Neil Pilson is. He brought March Madness to network. He brought NASCAR to the network. Did so many great innovative things. Well, he and Mike Henry got together and started selling Jumbotrons. They finally put one in Seattle Seahawks up there, and a guy named Paul Allen liked it so much he bought their company, and so they're out. So Mike comes to me last year, and Mike says, we need to do something. You know, Marconi would be dead if he didn't have the automobile. No one would ever listen to radio if it wasn't for the automobile. Postage and print, we know where that's